Kotoko about to clash in this weekend's, historical Classico. In the midst of sweeping changes across the football front, a new league, a new national team coach, a new FA administration, we are asking, is the love finally coming back? Remember when this new FA, the new team took over, they set themselves a target to bring back the love. Now, people's assessment of the progress made so far is what tonight's Ghana Connect conversation is all about. Are you feeling the love? Is the love coming back? Maybe the Hearts of Folk Kotoko crash is an indicator. Maybe we are getting there. After all, it's on Ghana Connect, and I'm sure you're talking about it as well. And so we are going to dig into that here on Ghana Connect, where there are a few people who know their stuff when it comes to football. Why don't you join us wherever you are tonight? This is how you can get in touch.
Join us now on Twitter, #Ghana Connect Live, Facebook, Joy 99.7 FM, or send us a WhatsApp on 0244 340 437, and we will call you back. Join the nation's biggest conversation now and connect to authority.
Don't forget, the WhatsApp line is 0244340437. Hit me up on Twitter. I am at Noete, or just use the #Ghana Connect Live, and then we'll get to hear from you. Yes, we know. I mean, the new administration took office a few months back, so they don't have a whole lot of time to really change things. But it's good every now and then to assess if the targets are being met. And that's what we're trying to do tonight. The significant changes across the board. Are you feeling the love? Would you pay to go to the stadium on Sunday to watch these two teams play? Will the stadium be full? And what will it take for the love to completely come back? We're going to dig into that tonight here on Ghana Connect. Connected with me in the studio is Asante Jima Goffred. He is a diehard Kotoko supporter, and he's been telling me about the spirit and the drums in that song. Kwame, diehard House of Folk supporter, also connected in the studio as well. Hello, gentlemen.
Hi, Evans.
Okay, so you are in the House of Folk man.
Yeah.
Is draped in his rainbow colors.
Yes, the best jersey in the country.
I mean, I was telling you. I mean, this small conversation where you take them serious like that.
Yeah, we have to put some fear in these Kotoko fans, and it's a game we are looking forward to. It's not been so good for us here in Accra, though it's our home.
Well, you start with an admission.
Yes.
Oh,
I have to admit that. But before that, 16 years before that, they had not beaten us here in Accra before, and at the start of the last decade, they sort of took over. We are in a new decade now, and things are shifted, and they themselves know it. I can tell you, I can give you an itinerary of what Kotoko fans should do on Sunday.
Okay, well, we'll come to the details shortly. You see the way the Kotoko man is, as I say, Italanku. He's waiting for you to finish. We'll come to that. Also, we'll be speaking to the GFA. Tamimu will join us. He speaks for the GFA. In the studio with me is Nathaniel Titi Ato, and he's also joined by George Ado Jr. Nathaniel has to declare the interest. Now, declare the interest before we do anything else.
Well, my late father, God bless his soul, Dr. Victor Ato, was a director of Accra Hearts of Oak, and at a certain point in the history of the club, when the late coach Ade was the head coach of the club, he was the club's medical doctor. At the point when he left, he was the director in charge of tickets and security. He's actually slept in a cemetery because of keeping tickets safe for Accra Hearts of Oak before.
Wow.
However, over the years, I mean, we are professionals, and so it has to always count when we're doing our work. Therefore, it never ever comes to play when I'm sitting behind the microphone or I have to do any analysis or say red is red or blue is blue. But you know, when you look at the two songs, Evans Mensah,
Let's do this.
George,
let's do the poll.
Man. I mean, look,
George, you are the
where are all the musicologists in the system?
I mean, George,
yeah, I mean, it depends on who is saying what. So the Accra Hearts of Oak fans love the rhythm. The Kumasi Asante Kotoko fans love
the drums
and everything that it represents. So what you don't understand is the drums in the Kumasi Asante Kotoko anthem means a lot.
Okay, so let me do a poll.
So if you are from Kumasi, Ashanti region, if you are a true Kotoko fan, when you hear the
it sparks. I agree.
Something.
Okay. But
then when you come to
fans themselves dance.
You're talking about this. Is that what you're referring to?
What are you talking about? Which spirit? No,
wait. Let's leave that spirit to the side. Let's. They are shaking.
Asante Kotoko
Evans, this song you can't sing it in C flat.
You see,
I don't know. When you bring this to chapter O, when you bring this song to chapter O, you know. Me, I don't need to talk too much. You know the kind of treatment, technical treatment they'll give this song. This song you can't sing it in C flat. No, so that in itself is a mistake.
I don't agree. Then you can compare. No, Evans. Then you want to compare the Kotoko anthem to the Liverpool anthem. What did you say about that as well? So every anthem, you see,
forget about that one. That one is a bigger problem.
You see, it's a war song. It's a war song. And again, the Accra Heartbreak anthem is inspired by the Palogo and what we know in Accra. So you should just understand where the two anthems are coming from. And I think we should enjoy it the way it comes. Now, no wonder if you want to dance, you want to shake your waist like Nathaniel wants to do, you have to go the Heartbreak way. Was it past tense or past? Arose. It's striking.
At this point, what does George want to do? Is he doing analysis or he's being cute?
I'm just realizing that it's past tense and then present and then future, and I'm just confused because it starts by Arose.
No, but you have to admit, Charlie, the house song, the B-Wa.
No, it can never be better than
it. You want a song for men, war song. Whenever you hear that in fan drums, you should get ready for everything, whether a man or a woman. But this fan logo, when you hear it, you can see it's for slave queens.
They never say die line in the song. Okay, in the lyrics goes to encapsulate every single thing that their song aspires to. You see, if you don't have a never say die spirit, how can you kuma pim and let
when the boys when the boys hear the drums, when the boys hear the drums before the game, they know this is war. They must fight. They must fight. Kumasi Asante Kotoko.
How can you go to war when you don't know what you have?
Oh no, they know what they have.
The Vogue song makes you have a great sense of self before even stepping on the
Heart of Vogue song starts the past tense. That's my problem with it. I like that. But when you start Arose, it starts the past tense already. So it explains why for a long time Heart of Vogue have not really won trophies, because you're in the past with Arose. I mean, arise.
But you're wicked though.
Don't worry.
By the way,
we'll do
Mr. Chaos on Twitter says, while House of Folk fans will be singing Jama, Arose, be quiet and don't be silly. Myself and other Kotoko fans will be singing high life tunes like Asante Kotoko, Yebeba Shemo. The difference is clear. I don't know what the difference is, Mister, but point it out to me. But so why don't we settle that debate? Share with me on WhatsApp 0244340437 which of these two songs you think really That's it for you ahead of this El Clasico. Let's get to this business, the serious business. Let me start with you.
Sorry, Evans.
Yes,
you mean the Super Clash?
The Super Clash.
Yeah, we don't. It's not
don't
the
have
El
that.
Clasico.
And
It's
here in
Super
Ghana
Clash.
we call it the
Yes,
Super
the Super
Clash,
Clash,
and it's
yes.
the creation of Joy Sports.
Super Clash.
The
Super
Super
Clash.
Clash
That's
is
the
the
name,
creation of
Yeah.
Joy Sports.
Yeah.
You know, we
Why?
created this
So
some
when
years
you
ago.
because
Yeah.
El Clasico is for Spain.
Yeah.
I mean,
We don't have anything for that.
When you get on Google and you try the search and you do the Super Clash, it's Hartsevuk and Kotoko.
Oh, fantastic.
That's
Yeah.
ours.
Yeah.
So we say the
created
Super
it.
Clash.
Yeah, and we're very glad about it.
I think sometimes Togo wants to go around here and says that the Fire Clash.
No.
He calls it the Fire Clash on the show.
Yeah.
But it's the Super Clash.
is
So
the
the
Super
and
Clash.
it's this particular
Yes,
Sunday.
yes.
So for
Definitely.
an Arts of Folk fan, you've been looking forward to this game.
Absolutely, and anytime the GFA releases its fixture, it's one of the games that you're always looking out for. Now that Olympics are also in the league, we look out for the game against Kotoko and the game against Olympics. They are the games.
So only that day is back.
Oh yes,
Yes.
yes. So it's a game we are looking forward to. It's a game that as fans we prepare towards, and you know this game has everything that you would want to look out for in football. There is the psychological element, there is the spiritual element, there is the tactical element, and I can tell you that as things stands now, I'm sure that the spiritual element is it's going on in various places, and the boys are getting themselves psyched up for everything that this game represents. And as a fan, one of the things that you are looking out for is what is the form of your club going into this game.
What's the
Normally
form?
we say that this game doesn't follow any form guide. That's true, but one thing that you need to see is that anytime Hearts of Folk is in form, we are able to do it over Kotoko. Unlike when Kotoko is in form, I would make reference to when in 2008 when Kotoko and the Bashir Hayfoot paraded that very, very powerful Kotoko team vis-a-vis that Hearts of Folk team under Iyal Lakman then in Kumasi. We all felt that we're going to be destroyed in that game. That game ended up 3-3 in that. So going into this game, Hearts didn't start the league so well. In our first two games, we lost. In the last three games, we've picked 7 out of 9 points, and it tells you. Plus the signings that we've done, the additions that we've added to the team. I can tell you that in this country, Hearts have the best midfield in this country, Evans.
I see. What makes you
in
say that?
Benjamin Afutu, in Emmanuel Neti, and then Frederick Ansabotre. That's the midfield trio. One thing that I know, perhaps I would say that Kotoko have over us is their front three of Sonny Yakuba, Augustine Okra on the right, and then Emmanuel J.
But that's a business end. But that's a business end of the pitch.
But you see, before the ball gets to them, something must happen in midfield, and I think that we have a dynamic attack that our attack don't have so much goals in them, but they have something in them that can create things, and like Kofi Koji, very bulky, very strong, can come up with something. And I expect us to dominate the game in midfield, and when we're able to win the midfield battle, I think that we'll win the game on Sunday.
Kotoko.
As he has been saying, we know them by this. They will speak all the English, say everything, but at the end of the day,
Is that an admission that House of Folk fans are better speakers of the Queen's language than you?
oh
With
no,
the anthem
they are
is
slave
not
queens.
now.
But English slave queens matter.
With their
They'll come after you.
No, with their jersey, their anthem and everything, they'll tell you, oh, we have this, we have this, we have this. But at the end of the day, Agronifil, at the end of the day, we are going to win over them.
What makes you? He's identified his midfield.
He just admitted we have the best front.
Comparatively.
Yes, but but that's an admission.
Yeah.
So, like, you can play all the game, you can play whatever you want at the midfield. At the end of the day, we will score you.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
You mean Yebeshemo? Evans, you know, I'm very interested in the journey that both clubs have traveled, you know, over the last, let's say, 18 months. So you have a Kumasi Asante Kotoko who, beg your pardon, by virtue of their performance in the last Normalization Cup, got the opportunity to play in Africa. You know, got to a certain stage because of which they had activity, because of which the players had consistency. Then you have a Hearts of Oak, on the other hand, who had a change in management where you had a Noonan leave and a Frederick Moore take over. and then you had a switch in technical direction as well, and then there was a situation where Hearts of Oak had to rely on loads of friendly matches and all of these things to get themselves towards the preparation of the towards the start of the season. Now, the problem here for Accra Hearts of Oak, admittedly, is that in terms of the consistency, the players do not necessarily have it compared to the Kumasi Asante Kotoko squad. Okay. Secondly, if I ask anybody to do a standard 11 for Accra Hearts of Oak now, it will be a little difficult because of the kind of chess game that has been played between Kim Grant and Odum.
But
okay.
No,
you hold on. Now you look at Kumasi Asante Kotoko, and because of the activity in Africa preceding the tournament, you are able to see clearly that, okay, I mean, when they're going into this game, this is what we're looking at. You understand me? Now, look at goalkeeping, for instance. I mean, clearly, because of, and of course, this applies to both sides. Sorry. Now, clearly, because of the opportunity, first of all, playing in Africa and the opportunity to feature in the Black Stars, Felix Annan over the period has just grown his confidence and has become such an authority, I mean, in quotes, in his department of play, and contributes so much to every campaign that Asante Kotoko is involved in. Okay. However, when after saying all of these things and looking at all of these dynamics, and George is going to give you a more technical, analysis of what we're supposed to see in every square of the pitch, on every square of the pitch. Now you take all of that away, and he was making a very important point about the spirituality, the bizarre things that happen. I mean, I'm drawing back to about 4 seasons ago when Accra Hearts of Oak, I think it was 5 seasons ago, when the players of Accra Hearts of Oak, instead of filing in a straight line onto the pitch, decided to gather under one jumbo-sized flag and walked onto the pitch.
Really?
I remember that incident where Kumasi Asante Kotoko players refused to go and dress up, go into the dressing room at the Accra Stadium. They changed right there on the pitch and got onto the pitch. You understand me? A lot of interesting things happen, and then somebody will ask, okay, so does the metaphysics come to play in this fixture? Is it a yes? Is it a no? Some say yes, some say no. And then you also take a look at what the two clubs do. The little things, the rituals, and ritual in this sense is the real sense of the word ritual, which is something that's being done regularly. Okay? So you see Accra Hearts of Oak do a regular ritual of going to pray, say prayers, okay, ahead of a game. Go to do charity ahead of a game. All of these things
they
have...
do?
Oh, yes. Okay. Oh, yes. And the other interesting thing, ahead of the President's Cup, which preceded the season, which
they lost.
Won.
Okay.
Yes.
Which has lost.
Accra Hearts of Oak, I noticed something very interesting. We got an interesting revelation. We're approached by a set of students who said they had put together a group called Phobia Tertiary. Okay. So Phobia Tertiary basically is the supporters wing of Accra Hearts of Oak in the tertiary institutions in Ghana. And I was amazed at what they were doing. I mean, what they were doing. And this was during a period when there was hardly any football activity. And these guys had organized themselves, and you could clearly see that their numbers are growing. So, the game has so many different dynamics. And for me, I mean, when you look at everything on paper, you'd say that Asante Kotoko technically will have the edge. However, something sparks these players on the pitch. Just because they are going to play the guys in red, something extra is switched on within them. And that is what will make this game a must-see. And that's the reason why everybody has to listen to us from now through to 2 p.m. on Saturday when we take over the radio and bring... on Sunday, where we bring them
George
live commentary.
Very, very interesting to hear from both the Kotoko fan and the Accra Hearts of Oak fan. Because, you see, when you look at the balance, even for Kotoko, you say that they've had some changes because under the last coach, they just had too many players coming to the club. So they've also struggled just a bit when it comes to consistency. But over the two, like Nat was saying, that Kumasi Asante Kotoko have the consistency. Now, Accra Hearts of Oak have that very, very good midfield that he was talking about. The guys are doing well. Nete is such a great player, former player of Inter Allies. So, and this is one thing about the Hearts of Oak team. Now, they've got some players who are coming from clubs where there's a lot of the technical part of the game taught. Like, remember, the Mohamed Al-Hassan boy in defense is coming from Wafa. They have those players in there. You've got Fatal Mohamed from Wafa. So it makes the team it gives the team a bit of technical punch that they would normally, not have had, in that sense. So if you watch the Accra Hearts-Ville Wafa game, you'd realize that Accra Hearts-Ville controlled the midfield, which was a bit strange for a football playing side like Wafa. But they did control the midfield and forced Wafa to rather play on the counter-attack. And that was a big statement. They came to Liberty Professionals and beat Liberty by 2-1. Dominated again. If anyone thought that the Liberty result was a fluke, let me tell you, this afternoon, Liberty beat Wafa in Sogakope by 2-1.
And George, just before you go ahead, I just remember the coach's words.
Yes.
He was asked about what style he played, and he says press and shake.
Yes,
is that what he
What's
calls
that?
His nickname is Neil Doomsday.
Press and shake.
Now you see that. So
like
the Accra Hearts-Ville team, no doubt, have got some quality. Clearly, they've got some quality, even up front. Even though they are not scoring the goals, the likes of Joseph Esofo, Mbuswa Dwarfs, even Obinga is good, and Kofi Kuchi. Now, when you come to the Kumasi Asante Kotoko side, the difference is that they have players who have played in the Super Clash before and have a feel of what this really is. So that if you take a player like Emmanuel Jenfi, he knows what this is about. Okay, Sonny Yakuba is coming to it. He knows what this is about. He's played NC competition. So that's the difference. So if I put the Kotoko midfield to the Hearts-Ville midfield, I say, look, Hearts-Ville midfield is slightly ahead, but it's not so much. So it will come again to what the two sides can do in midfield and then in attack. And then in defense. You see, it's critical that Nat mentions having the right psyche on the day, because it's how you feel on the day that will influence what you're going to produce on the pitch. And that has always been the case. We've had some players who have played for Kumasi Asante Kotoko Accra Hearts-Ville and somehow just could not score goals in the Super Clash. So you need players who can stand up to the occasion, and that's why both clubs are going to spend a lot of time in trying to make sure that the boys are ready for the game psychologically. Because look, may he so rest in perfectly, Abdullah Salama, for goalkeeper for Accra Hearts-Ville. The last goal he considered at Accra Sports Stadium was crazy. That was just a back pass from Agrofi to him, and I don't know what happened to his leg. He twisted or whatever, and the ball went to the net. So we've had some crazy goals scored as well. That definitely do not go along the lines of book. I don't know what. I can't tell. That brings the spirituality. You see, there are some goals that are going to be scored you cannot just understand. Dombote scored some goals we never understood. Oseko scored goals we never. Ishmael Ado, and so it goes on and on and on. That's why this clash is absolutely special. I still think this is in Accra. Yes, Accra.
I just wonder. I mean, you'll be going to the stadium?
Yeah, I'll be on the stadium.
Okay, will you be? Will you be? What? Have you always been to the stadium when they play?
When I was in Kumasi.
You used to go. Is it the first time you're going in Accra?
No.
Okay. What was the last time you went to the stadium?
To watch Kotoko and Hearts or
yes, any football match in Ghana.
That was just last week.
Okay, I mean, before last one. When was the last time you went?
I can't tell.
It's been a while. Okay. But this one you're going to go.
Yeah.
There have been plenty of Kotoko games that you haven't been in the last few years. I'm sure that applies to you. When was the last time you went?
The last Kotoko and Hearts game I watched was 2016.
Okay, that's
yes, and that's the answer for most of the guys.
What is it about it?
Now, Kenichi Yatsuhashi was the coach of Accra Hearts-Ville, and before that game, I remember it was a Monday at the Accra Sports Stadium. We had close to 38,000. That was the last time we saw
in the stadium.
In the stadium, in Accra. That was the last time we saw such. Loads of fans coming in there. Why did they come in their numbers? For Accra Hearts-Ville fans, if you give them a reason to come to the stadium, they will come. Remember, all the noise we are enjoying at the moment for Accra Hearts-Ville is because they drew with Wafa, they beat the Mbuswa Dwarfs, and they beat Liberty Professional. Team is on form.
Okay.
At the time, there was Kenichi. And they were like this Japanese guy, whether he was a teacher, whether he was a trainer, whether he was causing a lot of stare. I mean,
there was a lot of talk around him.
A lot of talk. He was winning games, and he would come up with these punchy interviews, and so the Hearts-Ville fans came, and we had such a brilliant game at the Accra Sports Stadium. It's the one in which Salama scored the howler. I mean, it made the howler. That's right.
But George, you raise a very important point. It's also about the personality.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Do we have in this latest manifestation of the league? When Mourinho first went to England, it lit up England because not only of his smartness and intelligence and magical prowess on the field, but because of the personality he brought to it. Does Ghana football, as in the local league, have anybody or a group of people like that right now? And if we don't, shouldn't there be a deliberate effort at finding that? Because you talk about the Kenichi Hachi effect. Well, what's your take on that?
For me, I think that having coaches, we in our parts of the world here in Ghana, you normally have coaches being a bit reserved, not wanting to give so much away. I was just telling a colleague that I listened to Kwesi Appiah's interviews and he's much more straightforward with answers. But you remember we had David Duncan, who would always say something that would, before a Kotoko and a Hearts game, when he was either at Kotoko or Hearts, would make a statement that would draw people, or a controversial statement that would say that I have the best this. Which was Opele at some point said, yes, when he was after my youth, he said that he was going to beat Kotoko with it was a something zero
formation.
A 4-0 formation where he would defend and where Kotoko would not be able to beat him. So having these personalities do help. It attracts people. They generate those talking points. And now on Twitter, people are always having this short quotes of coaches and all that. It gives some sort of a punch, or it gives some people some reason to follow the game and all that. They're like, oh, this coach is saying something interesting, like Coach Neodum has been saying. The kind of things that he's saying, I'm going to, is it massaging person or something? Massaging press or something. All of these things are very, very interesting things that I think we need in our league. It creates that excitement.
I'm going to connect to the phone lines shortly, but when I come, I'm going to do that part of the conversation that really this conversation is focused on. And I'll get George to chip in about the bars, but also the question about whether indeed you are feeling the love. The objective, a simple objective for this new administration was to bring back the love. We all lost it. Football was not interesting for us anymore. We simply found refuge in our English Premier League and the etc. Are we seeing enough recently in the wake of all the changes to say that yes, we are going back? Guess who is connecting with us on the phone? Langabel is on the line. Hello, Langabel.
Yeah.
Langabel, how are you?
I'm fine.
Langabel, let me ask, are you a House of Folk or Kotoko?
I'm Olympics.
Oh, you're Olympics?
Yeah.
Oh, so tell me, since House of Folk is playing Kotoko, which of these two teams will you be supporting?
Oh, so far as in Accra.
Your call has been put on hold.
Oh, goodness.
Please wait.
Langabel put me on hold. Let's call Langabel back. He puts me on hold. We'll get Langabel back to tell me his own assessment. I think what he was going to say there was, so far as House of Folk is playing Accra, they will support Hearts. I hope that's what he's going to say. Because
but it's quite interesting.
Sometimes Olympics support Kotoko.
When you are within a certain region with a team, the rivalry there is quite fierce. So
because I thought he would rather support Kotoko than support Hearts. Yes, because there's no way if City is playing Liverpool in Manchester, I would support City. That will never happen. We'll get his thoughts on that. But let me come to that big question. You're talking about the buzz.
Yes, the buzz. You see, because this buzz is not one that I can attribute to a player or a coach.
Okay.
I'd say that colleagues in the media have really put this on, and we've really taken this on to make it what it is.
Is it deliberately, or there's something? There's an X factor to this match that has brought that up.
One, the FA has done its bit in pushing this, but for the media, we are just at the point where we understand that we need to promote our game.
Okay.
If our game gets there, it's industry for all of us. If our clubs get stronger, media men will get jobs in clubs, and they're fine, like we see it out there.
Yeah.
So the media have taken this on, and I can tell you that I can't even check out the amount of time Joy FM has dedicated to promoting Hearts versus Kotoko. And you realize from Monday on the Super Morning Show, in the afternoon on the various shows, we are pushing this. It may fall in line, or it looks to be falling in line with the FA's agenda, but that's what it is. It does not say then that, for instance, the clubs have done everything that they are supposed to do. If we get personalities, if we get more players, and because at the moment we've got two players. One, the Matthew Kujo boy in Kumasi Asante Kotoko. Kotoko fans are talking about the Messi. It's a young man. 16-year-old boy who is playing 16-year-old boy who's playing good football.
Yeah.
Anytime
as in football, 16-year-old.
No, 16. Papa. You see, these days our ages are good, especially when players are coming in from academies and all. And I know he even accepted. He wanted to be in Wafa, but he wasn't admitted at Wafa, and he's his age is cool. You should see the boy. You know, he's a 16-year-old boy. Even that one, there were issues. Just very careful about it.
Is he playing regularly?
Yeah, he's playing. Anytime he comes out as a substitute, he plays well. He scores a goal. He creates it. He's like a sensation.
Okay.
And so Kumasi Asante Kotoko fans are saying that this is our guy. Accra Hearts are talking about Neti, and they're saying that is our guy. He can create magic.
Who is Neti, by the way?
Oh, he's a former Emmanuel Neti. He's a midfielder, former Inter-Allies player.
The 18-year.
That's been corrected. Let's not go.
Just relax.
So is he 19 or is he?
I don't. You see, we have, and even for me, I say this. I don't want us to go into ages because this is the Premier League.
Okay.
And in the Premier League, we are not doing under 17.
Once you play, you must be good enough.
Yes, you must be good enough.
Yeah.
So if a club says you are good enough, it's fine. You know, sometimes we go a bit negative on social media and all of that. But the point is, in the Premier League, you can play. If you're 80 and the club feels you're okay, you can play. That's why Ibrahimovic is still playing. Who cares about his age?
So there's a buzz around these two players.
The buzz around at least these two players.
Yeah.
That is one. The media has really done its job. And the FA, I think, for the branding side and making sure they are quickly reacting to things is very good. Number one, when Kumasi Asante Kotoko had the issues with Brooklyn Chelsea, they were quick to come out with a charge. They've gone on and pressed the charges, and they've gone on with a ban, which inspires confidence. When fans went to watch the game at the Carl Randolph Park, and there were snakes after the game, which is not really good because it hogged the headlines rather than talking about the score lines. Club Licensing Board came in and said straight away, we banned that stadium. It's not going to host matches again. So there is confidence, athletes. We know that if anybody misbehaves at the stadium, something is definitely going to happen. Yeah. And I like the way the GFA is very
the question going up there. I'm going to go back to the lines. The question was that what it was before, or there's a change? Are we seeing any clear, tangible changes in the way the FA is approaching games? And what are those? I'll come to that. Yeah. Let me reconnect to Langabel. Hello, Langabel.
Yeah.
You were telling me which of the two teams you support this weekend.
I said, so far as Accra supports in Accra, we always support Accra support, but if Kotoko do that draw, everything is fantastic. As I said, I'm an Olympic supporter. I don't have any much to talk about Accra support and Kotoko match.
Okay, so tell me, how is Oli Dade, Oli Gbogbo, Oli Kotoko, so how are they doing?
Olympics is fantastic now. We are doing everything successful to make sure that tomorrow match we play with our Inter-Allies. We got to win.
So you are hoping for Olympics to win, but in the big game on Sunday, you say you support Hearts of Oak. Some may suggest that if you are Oli and you are in Accra and Hearts of Oak is your arch rival, you should be supporting Kotoko to beat them so that you can tease them a bit.
That's what I said. That if Kotoko win too, I like it because of that, as you said, it's a teasing. But it's two ways. Some don't like us to win. Some too because I supported to FS to come to stadium to come and cheer Olympics. So and everything. Right now we make it Accra and Kosovo.
Accra what?
When they say Asante Kosovo, who do we make Accra and Kosovo?
Accra and Kosovo. Accra and Kosovo.
You know how they say Kumasi and Davis and other people will make they make it for name. Kumasi, Asante, Asante, in Kosovo. That's what they said. Now right now we the guys who come and see Accra. They support Accra City. Come and see stadium. I'm in the stadium right now.
Oh, I see. And good to be in a stadium. Let me ask you, since you're in a stadium, how are you enjoying the new league? Is it meeting your expectations? Are you happy about where the league is going and how it started, and Ghana football generally? Give me your assessment of that.
I tell you right now, Accra City is leading by 1-0, and as I tell you right now, they play 41 minutes. Right now, Satawale is in the house. As I told you right now, Satawale comes out and stadium now. And come and see the supporters. Any place is fantastic now. If the matches can play the same time at this time, every match is except Asafo and Kotokoa. It will be better. Come and see. The vibration and courageous and cheerful in Accra Sports Stadium. This shows that we bring back to the Lord footballer. This shows that Ketokoku and the team are doing fantastic job.
Wow, Langer, fantastic report you're giving us there. And so, tell me, where do you want Ghana football to be, say, 5 years from now? Now that they say bring back the love. Are you feeling the love?
Now I'm feeling the love because that's what I said. I think the matches can play like how the Atrocity are playing in the England. If Olympics and other things, you can play in the England now. Everybody who cross work will come to stadium to come and play matches in the weekend and the Saturday, except a class of 4 and Kotoko, whereby always they are controversial in their matches where the government said that they should. Apart from them, I hope every Atrocity will play. They're supposed to. Then they bring back the love. Come and see stadium here now. Everything's under control. People are enjoying. The black ball is here. Shabbat come to here. Oh, it's feeling. The feeling is going high. Oh, this Ketokoko and Ku are doing fantastic job for our Ghana football by 5 years coming.
So that is the assessment of Langabell there. It's fantastic is the word that he uses there to describe the feeling. I like this idea about using artists, musicians to sort of hype a game. He's mentioned Shatawale. Last time I saw Kwesiata also in the stadium. And you guys explaining to me that it's a club's initiative
from Legon City. So what they do every home game is that they try to bring an artist. The first game they brought Shatawale. The second game they brought in Kwesiata. Today is AMG Medical who will be there. I think Medical has a relationship with Shatawale, so I'm sure Shatawale too would also be there. So we are yet to see.
And then what they perform during the halftime?
Halftime, yes, during the halftime they come in there, perform. That's when the team is in recess or trying to get the fans excited or something.
But that is a smart move. I say that because sometimes I get to watch the league in the USA. The league in the USA for a while was just like ours. Nobody cared about it because, USA, they don't really football, soccer. It's not something that they do, right? And they then decided to make it entertainment. Football is entertainment already, but they needed to add an X factor. So they started doing performances. Halftime, 15 minutes, is a lot of performances, just like they do for the Super Bowl, right? Now we see how US football has gone. A lot of players are now going there, they're getting Rooney, etc. coming in. Shouldn't the FA, and this is just a question, shouldn't the FA, yes, the Accra City is doing it, shouldn't the FA make this build the entertainment into it as a draw factor? I don't know what you make of that.
Yeah, that is an excellent decision. If the FA is able to factor all the things into the league, because personally I've been to I went to Shatawale's show at the stadium.
When you went to watch Legon City.
Yeah.
But was also Kotoko playing?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, it was
Kotoko and Legon City.
I went because of
Shatawale. Okay, so that's it there, yeah.
And last week too, I went there because of Kwesiata.
Okay, but Kotoko wasn't playing, but he still went.
Yeah, I went there.
Okay, so
I think if the FA is able to fuse all these things into the league, I think it will really help because people will go for the showbiz aspect. People will also go for
I mean, I don't mind right now just closing and going to the stadium
to watch Medical.
Of course.
Yeah, but my only worry is if we're going to make it that the responsibility of the FA to do this for the clubs, that will be a bit problematic because the FA has got to look for sponsorship and sort out the Premier League. Now, you see, the entertainment thing, I like where Legon Cities are starting with it. It's okay where they started from. But the truth is that even when you go outside, for every stadium, they have their own kind of entertainment. That's where if you've been to Dortmund, the Yellow Wall, the performances, they will sing, they will do all the things. So there has to be a culture for every home ground that when you know, and you see, and that's because for most of the games that I watch elsewhere, people go there for the total match day experience. It's not just about the football.
That's true.
You work on the football, but you begin to develop, a culture. So what Legon Cities are doing for themselves now, they're developing a culture where people know that when we go and watch a Legon Cities game, you are likely
to be not only getting the football, but you're getting the total package.
And get a total package for the fans. Now, that is an idea. You may not have the money that Legon Cities have, so you'd have to find innovative ways wherever you are to make sure that there's something that is, when we talk about
beyond the
football. When you come to beach or when you go watch a game at the Beijing Park, there's something that that greets you on arrival that makes you feel like going the next day. When you go to Brekum, there's something it's a total experience. So Legon Cities are leading the way. The FA can sit down and talk to the clubs and see how they can develop all these, all the other Premier League centers, then we can be making sense.
Gary, what do you stand on that question? Is the love coming back? Have you seen it?
Introduce me down.
Oh, Gary just arrived, and Gary, thank you for connecting. I wonder where you stand on that question. We've been talking a lot about Accra House of Folk and Kotoko. It's a good peg to look at that question, because a lot of buzz around Accra House of. I mean, I don't follow the league. Apologies, but I don't for obvious reasons. I don't honestly. I don't think it's entertaining enough.
Don't worry, you would.
I don't think we've invested in it enough. But some say if you don't watch it, it won't. But
you would.
Now we are getting attention.
Yes.
Is the love coming back?
It is coming back in many ways. I mean, the number of people, let me start because we are talking about the Legon cities. Legon cities have become like what Red Bull Salzburg was when Red Bull acquired the club.
Yeah.
They decided as a brand strategy to make it hip.
Okay.
Because they don't have the ability to compete on history like some of the other teams in Austria would, who were formed in 18 something, and they don't have that pullback factor. If you say legends, they have none. It is what Man City of now are looking to do. They know that they are the inferior Manchester, so they are competing on, for example, technology, on cutting edge this, on getting the best players, and on getting the millennials and the Generation X, Generation Z. Legon cities are doing that. So, in addition to all the things, the music, what they are doing is, if they are going to a match day venue that is outside Accra but close by, they put a bus around. They put two buses around. You pay only 25 cedis. That 25 cedis covers your ticket, your transportation, water, and food. And then that is to and back.
For what? Supporters?
For supporters, yeah. Just sit in the bus and pay 25 cedis and go. Yeah. The last time they did it was against Dreams FC. Do you know how many of my friends went?
Oh, wow.
Because they lived around Madrid. Like Sunday, they didn't have anything to do. Like ordinary university boys and normal guys, who are like, they didn't have anything to do after church. So the bus left around midday. Yeah. The match was 3 p.m. kickoff. The bus left around midday. It took them to Deu, right? Just 45 minutes away. They went, they hung around. A lot of them had not even been to the east, that side of the eastern region before. And they came back with stories of, hey, the place is green, the place is nice. So, and this is what other teams are able to do.
Free for ladies too.
Yes, today, Legon cities are doing free for ladies and the disabled. In the Kotoko,
as in, if you are paying, if you get to the stadium tonight, you're a lady,
you enter for free.
Yeah.
You enter for free. And today they've added the disabled, the physically challenged element. The first game they just did free for ladies. One of our marketing friends who is very popular on Joy FM called them and said they should add the physically challenged people. So they are getting better. Imagine if they were able to do this until the end of the season.
Yeah.
At the moment, they have not won a game. But even if they are relegated, imagine the number of supporters they would have won next season. So the love is coming back. That was just a snapshot of the love that's coming back. I think that people are willing to give not just the GFA, but the Ghana Premier League in total as a package another chance.
Okay.
I think that is it.
Yeah. That's what you're feeling. That's a pulse that you're getting.
Yes.
Okay.
We've done several shows, and I mean, at the Joyce here, we've committed most of our shows to getting audience feedback. So on the Joy Sports track, the last 2 or 3 editions, we've done fun-only shows. The first show after the first match day, we called people from around the country who went to the various stadia to narrate their match day experiences. And they told us that this is what we like, this is what we not like. Let me give you 2 examples. A guy said he went straight from church with his wife and son to the Accra Sports Stadium. They had their church clothes on, so they wore their church.
Which game were they going to watch?
A Heart of Oak game. Okay. They were in their church clothes.
Chelsea.
No. The first.
There's not has Brickham Chelsea.
Brickham Chelsea. Yes. So they closed from church around Teshi. They took an Uber straight to the stadium. They got there. They changed there, and then they watched the match. And he said, when the security guard saw him, that, oh, you have come from church, go in, I won't check you. So that was his feedback, and he was like, Gary, tell the people that you can't do that. I may be a terrorist. Yeah. The fact that you know this naive, he's from church, it's with his wife and kids. So people narrated their match day experiences. A guy who went to the Dreams FC game said when he went, he liked everything apart from the fact that there was only one entrance.
Okay.
And so he would like them to have multiple entrances in case of. So these are things that people like. All of them, at the end of the thing, I asked them to rate their match day experiences over 10. All of them gave 7, 8 over 10. So, if the GFA, that's above average. If the GFA is reaching out to, and these were neutral people who don't normally go to the stadium. And I was listening to you guys. You are saying that the last time you went to the stadium was in 2016. So, they are the people we want. Yeah. See, the people who like football, the Bolugbe people, Evans, today, God forbid, if there's a stampede, tomorrow, if there's a game, they will
still
come.
go.
Yeah. They are not the people we want.
But you raised a very. He said 2016 the last time you went.
The last Kotoko
game.
But the last game I watched was Legon City's Kotoko.
Yeah.
Prior to that, I watched Hearts Brekum.
Okay, but now are you more consistent now?
Yeah, I'm very much consistent.
No,
I even go with my wife.
Tell me. Yeah, but tell me what has changed for you. Why are you now more consistent?
For me, I like Gary said, I think we are giving the FA a chance.
Okay.
For me, I lost hope at some point. I still followed Hearts. Anyone who knows me knows that I follow my Hearts from afar. Because during the time that I was following Hearts, I was schooling in Legon. I was always at the training grounds, following everything that was ongoing there. Then, until we moved to Pobiman, and it's something that I felt I could do. But you could see there was this whole the past FA and the kind of attitude that was created, sort of follow Hearts, but with that partial feeling. But as this new FA came in and the kind of things that they introduced, I'm very active on social media, on Twitter, so you could see the buzz every time hashtag or anytime Hearts plays Hearts is trending. Anytime Kotoko plays a player from
that's
Kotoko
a good indicator.
And all that.
Was that the case before?
It was actually.
Yeah.
It was. But it's interesting what he says. The Ghana Premier League, since the beginning of this social media era, has always trend in Ghana. Will always be in the top 2, top 3 trends every Sunday.
There's an opportunity there.
You see,
definitely
but people
to
just
leverage.
Were passive followers of it. So
they will not pay to go to the stadium to watch.
Has a share. Kotoko a share.
I can give an example. I have a doctor friend of mine who is a Hearts fan but wasn't following the club so well. So just last Sunday before the game against Liberty, he knows that I follow the club. I know everything about the squad and everything. Charlie, give me a rundown. So who would be in post? Is this guy good? I heard that there is this Frederick Ansabotre. Oh, describe him for me.
People are now getting interested, not only in the game, but in the players.
The players. He wants to know who are they, because you see that this an individual who is trying to reconnect.
Yeah.
With,
I mean,
with
but I must admit, when Joe talks about this 16-year-old player, I'm looking forward to Sunday. I have never looked forward to the game before, but I just want to watch it to see if that's what. Let me speak to the FA spokesperson, Tamimu. Hello, Tamimu.
Hello.
Yeah, Tamimu, I don't know if you heard any of the things my guy said, but there's a feeling that people are giving you, the new administration, a benefit of the doubt, and that they want to trust again, and the love is gradually coming back. What's your reaction to that?
Yeah, good evening to listeners, Evans. It's something we are excited and encouraged by, but we also don't have to take things for granted. That bringing back the love is a continuous process. We can't just stop where we are now because we think people have welcomed whatever we are doing. Like I said, it's a continuous process that we have to up our games and make sure that the love is totally back. It's not going to be easy. There will be hitches on the way, such as what happened in Kumasi the other time. But you have to make people believe that it's just something, that one-off incident that happened. But overall, the stadium will be a very safe place for you to go. In doing this, one important thing for us is feedback. It's very, very important in such a exercise to get feedback from people. And yes, just yesterday, we put a picture or a graphic of the Hearts Kotoko game on one of our Twitter handles. And I went on the comment section to check people's feedback on the game. And one comment that really, really struck me was that one fan said that we should make sure that the seats are cleaned. just that we should make sure that the seats are cleaned. And the other time I was at the stadium, it's something that a few fans too were commenting about. And I raise this because it's negligible. You may not think that cleaning a seat means so much to somebody. You may do everything, but there are petty things that fans who go to the stadium they look out for. So, like Gary said, somebody goes to the stadium from the church, and if you are in your white dress and you want to sit down and the chair is dirty, the person may not want to come back again. So, part of our efforts to bring back the love is to take feedback, and those little things that will put somebody away from the stadium, we have to pay attention to these things collectively with the clubs. And we are also very grateful and very encouraged and excited that the clubs have taken the campaign at their levels, and they are also doing so much to complement whatever the FA is doing.
And about that, the conversation we've had in the studio is that, of course, a few of the clubs are trying to do, and you've mentioned it as well, Legon City is leading in terms of creating an attraction beyond the football on the pitch. I wonder how the FA is helping the clubs to all, I guess, replicate that across the grounds, across the country.
We intend doing that, but it all comes down to funding. Already, we started the season without headline sponsor for the competition. We have to spend so much to make sure that the league started late last year. And we have a lot of plans in place that if we are able to get headline sponsors for the league, we will be able to help the clubs. Those that don't have the kind of financial muscle, a club like Legon City will have to bring somebody like Shatawale and other big artists. The FA will have to complement all 18 clubs to make it a program for the league. But for now, it's very difficult to do that due to limited funding. But we have to continue things that are cheaper and effective for us, such as the social media campaigns that we are having. And we are very fortunate that we have a very supporting media. The media have really been supporting us, like Multimedia, Joy FM. You dedicate a whole program, Mondays, Fridays, 2 hours, and discuss the Premier League. This is something that previously we didn't get from across board, even though Joy has always been supporting the Premier League. We are very fortunate and encouraged by the kind of support we are getting from the media, because whatever campaigns that we trying to implement, if the media don't amplify it won't go anywhere. But no matter how little you do, if you get strong support from the media and they amplify it for you, then you get the kind of effect that you're looking for.
Tamimu, thank you very much for joining us. We'll see you in the stadium, I'm sure, on Sunday. Listen, we did a poll at the beginning, and I'm getting some feedback I want to share with you.
Asante Kotoko say, Asante Kotoko say, Asante Kotoko.
Well, Seking.net says, Hards, everything is great, and best anthem, Jesse. Happy birthday, DL says, I am Kotoko fan, but that Hearts of Folk anthem is nice. Are you listening to this? This is the Kotoko fan. He says, I am a Kotoko fan, but that Hearts of Folk anthem is nice. Wow. That's the only thing I like about that fitness club, though. Oh, Charlie, he says the club is a fitness club. Oh, no, confess. Say that again. Say that. No, this one has confess. We are listening. Do the confession. Oh, but you said seriously you like the oh, that's not what you said. That's not what you said. A few of your messages on that. Henry says Kotoko does not have an anthem. Theirs is a high life song at best. So that's those are your views on that. And of course, as you've been listening, it appears the love is indeed coming back, at least for the local league. The question then becomes the Black Stars, because they really are embodiment of Ghanaian football. That's a conversation for later, I guess. And my colleagues Gary and George will be here. In fact, they're continuing the conversation with different angles to it. Stay here on Joy 99.7 FM.